All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. Kind of a crazy weather pattern for a little bit. We have rain today, and then tomorrow a 2-inch blizzard. 2 inches of snow doesn't seem like much to cause a blizzard. But that's what they're calling for. I had some great therapeutic ideas over the last 4 years, but I couldn't get to them. I just remembered that I was going to buy a massage chair, like a big one for like $1,000. Couldn't get to that either. There's a possibility that without the upper back cramping, that the lower lumbar would have come into order. I'm noticing that there is a correlation. I don't know where we are at this point, but I thank Kansas City metropolitan area for their efforts in moving me back into healthcare. If I had this doctor, this pain management doctor, we'd have just kept going. Nothing would have stopped us. It's kind of a back and forth thing. I get my body to calm down, I can figure out where it is. Anytime you're ready to pay me, ready to receive. I'm sure God will appreciate it. So the world's a little bit crazy, to put it bluntly. Well, I would have rather been at this point when I was 46, 47 years old than now. Right. I still think it's inflammation. Now the question is, what's the source of the inflammation? It looks like it's the cramping, but who knows? Which means it's a cycle. You have to use steroid to break the cycle, which I knew. Generally, steroid and massage. Yeah, it could still be a little bit wet because, again, if you have inflammation and it rains and there's mold out there, and so it could be a cycle there in that way too. No, all I had to do is be able to get my back to release, and then I never would have stopped trying to release it to figure out what was going on. Like, no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to release. And of course, I was being attacked by the deep state. So crazy because I could have had like eight sets of steroid shots in my back in a time period. You can do them like once every 6 months or something. I just couldn't get anywhere. Couldn't get, all I had to do was get that massage. They would have released it enough that I would have, piqued my interest in getting back in. I would have, my mind would have picked up again. And who knows? They may be able to release it so it was well, even without any more steroid. But I believe it's the epidural. You get a residual effect of steroid in the body, not as much as a trigger point. But now it's starting to release, but it just keeps cramping up. Trying to exercise the left a little bit by holding this like selfie pole vlogger stick in the left hand to see if that works. Because when I did it earlier, it did release the right, but it took some arnica gel on the back with it. So what that tells me is the steroid shot should work, but we'll see. Arnica is nothing compared to that, right? If arnica releases it, then but last night it wouldn't release for nothing. No idea. Like I paused my blood pressure medicine and I'm intaking a ton of potassium at this point. Well, at this point with the inflammation, if I have somebody massage it, it could just cause more inflammation. So I have to wait for the steroid or I end up wasting the money. Although I don't know if I'm actually, completely wasting the money because I did have a massage prior to this releasing. So the combination of things. Again, this is not the best weather for it. And we're heading into this weather, but it's going to warm up. It should be fine. No, when I think back, my 56, 57, 50, I'm like, what? It just like flew by. Turn off the aromatizer who needs more humidity. I have to try to get to something here. Let's see. Yeah, these candles put this black stuff underneath, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. They have some. Well, the olive oil one may not be the best for this. They have some other stuff. They're not cheap, but they sell them in bulk, so it's not too expensive either. No, I just wish I could have got somewhere. I mean, I've been looking at Kansas City for a while. Again, when the deep state's in there, you don't know what you're receiving in your mind as far as is it true or false or something in between. I call them the deep states of the mind. This is like Achilles tendon. Well, the screens, the incense burner that you see there with the tea light kind of thing, They have pods, and they call pods that you use for Shabbat that are all real oil for Hanukkah. They have them with a different type of oil. That's a cleaner burning oil. But the problem is with this particular thing, that the candle just is not going to work. It's not a hot enough flame. So I got this kind of cleaned off. But this piece, this green, is it's not cheap, and it takes like a month. Actually, half a month, I guess, to deliver, which isn't terrible. But, right, so this is two minutes. This particular tea light is a nasty tea light. So we're going to do it. Let's try to get on the other tea lights. They're not the best. I bought the Walmart cheapies. See how they worked. I mean, I definitely could have negotiated this better. Had these people not been in my run, or somebody would have been a little bit more welcoming. Well, it'd have been nice to have been somewhere to because again, there could be some other issue on the spine, right? And that was something that I was trying to. When I was trying to figure out the surgery and all that, I was trying to isolate whether it was something else. Because this one guy says, "Well, this guy, I imagine he saw my MRI, and he's saying, well, there's never a problem on the thoracic, but I'm thinking, I feel something on the thoracic, but what is it?" Right? He's already, I don't want to, I know how it works around me, so that would be where the problem is. But he says, there's rarely ever a problem on the thoracic, but I could be a rare case. Burn some this is like a standard Christian mix that they make. It goes by many names, including they'll sell it as the individual ingredient when it's actually a mix of ingredients. Let's see if that works. This one's called Jerusalem incense, Miramur Mappa, or something like that. No, it's not bad. That's the real deal. Well, I can't tell if some of this is weather related, because it did start popping up at a certain point. I think Thanksgiving is when the cold weather kind of started. But I've never seemed to have a problem with it before. Now it could be, something else that triggered it. Who knows? Again, I was out there walking with the stick in my right hand, and that could have just really inflamed and powered up the right hand and the right side of the body to contract. I tried to remember to move it to the other locations, but didn't always work. To the other hand, try to switch it back and forth. Well, when I went for those walks, I guess I felt good enough. I know I wasn't released well enough. I didn't have this, but well, when it releases, it's way too loose. That's another thing that gets kind of funky with it. Well, because your back's going to tighten up when it's too loose. Again, it's to find that happy medium. But I was so happy when I healed, and I was riding my bike, like 12, 14 miles, like it was nothing. Once I healed, after the massage, I was getting massages. I couldn't think to just push. I mean, if I could have, I would have left Santa Fe for the, maybe even here. No, I was such a fan of Massage Envy. It was just a crying shame. Like, why me? I was a fan of massage. I was actually, if they would have stopped and just let me be, I was working massage therapy into insurance plans, through the power of God. No good deed goes unpunished. For some reason, they don't say 12. What Hashem, God, and the spirits, along with myself and others, have figured out that it's 10 a year is what you want to. Again, you can go as low as 6, one every 2 months, or 6, a month apart. Well, the insurance companies will save money in the end. You'll be healthy people. And then yin yoga is very important to teach. They should actually be teaching yin yoga in schools. It's almost like a self-massage technique. But when they told me, like the last time I went, is this, and she may have been an agent because she was stalking me. What? She said, get a roller and massage yourself. I'm thinking, what? Makes sense. What? My issues, massage issues, my physical issues, were not at the level of self massage. We're way past that. I used to sit there for 2 hours. Well, they never say anything to me. They still don't tell me what the problem was. You just, play that game, you're too dangerous. A scam. It's just like when I was at the Siege. They started playing that angle. Of course, the Sikhs turned out to be a sex cult. I wonder if they ever did any porns. They ever do any porns? They produce any porns there? Yeah, like there was one woman there I was interested in, but she, probably would never went anywhere. But she used to do the rosary. She was a messed up person, drinking, smoking. She had cancer. I'm not sure, but she's probably passed on. But of all the she just moved in next to me, and I was really surprised because she had like the Mary thing going on in her apartment. She had the door open. She had lights, like kind of like my thing, but a little different. I forget her name, but she had accident after accident because she's always wasted. It's just like the cops, they costumed like they weren't too hard on her. I guess I don't know if they knew her or whatever. They're like, I think she was, at that point, just final years of life. Yeah, it was difficult to live around there. I mean, people dying, people overdosing, people using drugs. Again, just living there is like a kind of service for somebody like me because I'm, helping people and I'm healing people and things like that. Usually a healer doesn't come into that community. Like you see, they keep me like they would keep me around Naples and South Beach and Venice Beach, but they were screwing with me. I mean, they actually call me there because I'm a healer. It just happens inside automatically. They want their kids healed. They want to be healed, and they want to curse me off at the same time. No, there's people. There's people. I wonder about all these. Oh shoot! The incense flamed up. Oh my god! Oh my god! What's that? Interesting. It's a little too close. Went out very quickly. All right, now I'm going to hold this on the right hand and see what happens when I hold it on the right hand. No, it's pretty freaked out. I'm pretty freaked out about that. Again, I'm not freaking out, but I'm pretty freaked out about taking 4 years to get back to any type of therapy. Because I was sitting there in not Santa Fe, I was at Santa Fe too, but I was sitting there in Oklahoma just trying to figure out how to get to it. Like this one guy, I couldn't even think. Hey, what about your ex-wife? Would she come over here and give me a massage? This guy, he drank quite a bit, but he was low key, and he was like I think a contractor or something. And he was a nice guy, and he was in great shape because his ex-wife was a massage therapist, and he drank a lot of booze. That's the one thing that they don't calculate. When you drink beer, you stay relaxed. You have less trouble with your bones. Till you crash, right? But I never even thought because you need a massage, my ex-wife, and he kept saying it. I should have said, "Hey, would your ex-wife massage?" No, I got along with the good people. You know what I mean? The crooks and the dopers, they didn't like me. But this guy was a contractor, and I don't think he drove and drank. He just would get that 12 pack or whatever and head to the room. Well, he was a good guy. And I think my whole plan was to get into an apartment and then get the massage. I remember, it was set up a certain way where that woman I eventually used was telling me she does massages. I'm like, I guess I could use her, but I got to get someplace where we can do it. And then she came in and told me to get naked. I'm like, just like that guy. But they may have prepped her, right? Well, because that creates they know I'm not like that. So it creates that negative environment. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to get the alcohol candles or whatever those things are. Yeah, the candles don't work with that. And really, the mechanism that adjusts the height really is insufficient. I could actually build my own, probably. Just use a skinny bolt and then a nut. You have to weld. You have to yeah, I can't do that. I don't weld. But you can't glue it. And you just spin it, and that lowers it and raises it. Like right now, my problem is my right side's too tight. Well, no matter how much I love my my pain management people, if I need surgery, then I need it. I'm not going to be bashful at this point. But I'm almost positive that I could have got back to a healthy life had I kept going. The problem was I had to try to get somewhere that was positive, right? So I could get my mind, and then I could get to massage therapy. I was close in Oklahoma, like I said. I found a service, and they psychologically operated me around it, not only willing me down. I found a service that, like online when they're hacking me and all that. Well, I have the infrared, which is actually a wax melter to make a candle. It's a candle maker thing kit, but it works. But it's so big. I'm trying to figure out what I can use to kind of match my decor, and I haven't found that. I got to find something to put it in that's gold, because I found something that was like a cool looking terracotta, but I just don't think it. I might just go with it and just get it and just say that's it. Because that's really the easiest way to do resin is with a kind of like a hot plate thing. Then you can adjust the temperature. Mine's like infrared. I don't think the warmer would work. I might be wrong, but they only go up to like 180 or something. I don't know if that would be enough to set the incense into a fragrance mode. Hang on a sec. I'll be back in a sec. I'll put a movie on here. Okay, I'll see what we have on videos. Video clips.
שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד
All right. But if it's a lower lumbar that's causing the upper back to cramp, he can try ablation, but it just might be too damaged to have that work. like some people, they actually have an issue because of that cramping. And early enough for me, it would have probably worked too. If it, and it could, I mean, but I'm thinking it's not early enough, but we'll see. As soon as they take those two nerves out that cause the cramping from the lower back, right, up the, because the back's trying to adjust in, then they have nothing, no problems at all. That's so strange. Right? The back trying to adjust is actually what's causing the issue. And that could have been true for me too. I just couldn't get anywhere. But the key is to try to get well now. Before it's too late, you know what I mean? Not it's too late, but geez. Just can't believe they were able to block me like that. Well, I guess I thought because I could lay in bed successfully that I was okay. I guess, when I moved in here, I was doing a ton of work. But I can't tell you what the condition of my back is. I have no memory of it. I wasn't thinking about it. I guess they had tortured me enough that I couldn't get to that. The difference between this doctor and the other doctors, I feel like I actually have an active participant in my treatment. Instead of somebody says stop, sign on the dotted line and then collects the insurance, Right. And again, I don't know how much harassment they went through. Again, the doctors were also being harassed. So again, my choice in food was good for potassium, pea protein, fake meats, mashed potatoes. I've got a lot of inflammation going on right now that I didn't have circumstances. Well, I just, like I said, if I could have got to this point, again, why do I keep saying I'm rewiring your planet so people can get to this point? Or regardless, it's a short planet. One or the other. Well, again, the answer might be that I have to get that fused. I mean, there is that school of thought. But again, I owe it to this pain management guy to go through what he has. I owe it to the surgeon too. Well, I was definitely uneasy about going into surgery without releasing the back to a certain degree to realize what was actually happening. I know I released it more than it had been released in Tyler. And when that guy was massaging me, the right side wouldn't give all that much, but the left side gave and slowly released, and the right side was kind of sticky, but I didn't have any pain except, maybe the left sciatic nerve was kind of, when he massaged down there, I felt some kind of inflammation and stuff. But again, 4 years ago was a long time ago, and so hopefully I wish I could have gotten to that point of trying to figure it out. Oh, it was way worse back then. I mean, my left leg and right leg were so different. Left was so down powered, and the right was so powered up. See, that was the point: is how to get the right unpowered to a normal level, because it just didn't make any sense to me. And somewhere along the way, I lost my way because I guess Colorado was part of it. I realized I got back to some massage. I just wish it was a little bit. I really don't feel like completely soaking it in magnesium topical solution today. I just want to give my skin and my body a rest, but I might have to. No, as much inflammation as I had last night, it makes me think that a massage would be counter to what I need right now. It keeps cramping, so the muscles themselves are inflamed. I have to get something to calm that down. But again, they definitely blocked me for 4 years. And actually previously blocked me also. I mean, this is what they're using law enforcement disruption technology for, CIA disruption technology. That's what they use it for. They're sickos. I have no idea what Trump and his people are doing. I understand the concept, but again, 4 years is a pretty compact time to try to do what he's doing. Agreed. Well, it tends to be robbing Peter to pay Paul at a certain point. I don't know. He just might be using it for. I know he wants the interest rates down, so I know he's trying to jog that into play. If we bring down the interest rates, that might kickstart some home sales also. So inflation's set to go crazy to a certain degree. I don't get the Fed, because they did reduce it last time, and they said we reduced it because the tariff wars, but now they're not going to reduce or haven't. No, when it releases, the inflammation goes down real low. So it's the cramp that's actually causing the inflammation. At least I believe. Right. This weather sucks because you can't gauge with this weather. You can't gauge anything. Right. This weather itself could take inflammation and make it crazy. Right. No, I actually had a point where I think the left was released pretty well, and the left leg was, pretty strong, compared to what it usually is. So, again, I don't know how this is going to act once it's done, but again, I'm moving forward for surgery also at the same time, just in case. And again, if I had a guy like that in pain management 4 years ago, I'd have been fine. At least I would have got somewhere. So the tariff day here. Do we have any deals cut? Well, the idea of moving factories back to the United States works to a certain degree. Again, inflation's part of that. Again, getting into the robbing Peter to pay Paul. But again, the whole time they were doing this, they were blocking my life with that psychology. So it isn't something new. Again, if they need you, they just pay everybody and bring in a bunch of dirty cops to say that I'm the worst criminal they've ever seen. I mean, all you had to do was step away from me. I don't know what your problem was, all of you. Not that difficult just to let me be. Well, this weather's obviously not the best weather to gauge inflammation. And of course, we have I just can't keep spraying it with magnesium all today. I just can't do it. I might do it a little bit, but I think my lower back is cramping up. That's what I'm experiencing right now. No, I'm not taking any drugs. It's turmeric and arnica and some Epsom salt. Well, if I go over too much, then I end up with burping and all that all night. I don't want to test my neck. My back's just like totally. My neck is still semi-free, but my back is just totally cramped. I'm gonna have to spray it a little bit. See if I can get it to give a little bit. Again, the only thing that might work is steroids. There's nothing. Right, you just got to go through the process, which is really scary. Right, but I went through the process and got this done before. Let that sit there. Now the mold is up too, and that could be part of this. If it's valid, I look somewhere else, it'll tell me the mold is down. It's delicious. I got no idea what's going on. Yesterday I was able to actually do some work. Well, it looks like it'll be quite a few days before we have a change in the weather. Yeah, my theory is cramped muscles are not receiving the same nutrients as your bloodstream. So even though you might have a good magnesium level and potassium level, well, I went through this before where I couldn't lay down years ago. I wish I could have took care of it back then. But I couldn't see anything. I was totally blinded. They knew it. Try to use the heating pad. See if I can trigger something. Let that heat up a little bit more. A delicious recipe is that Beyond Meat, I guess it's called, but it's the steak tips or whatever they call it, imitation steak tips. You cook that up, you brown it. You can use like a saucepan for it, like a 2 quart. Put some cooking spray in there, brown it, then put some water in there, bring it to a boil, then take it off the stove and put your mashed potato flakes in there. Delicious. Very quick and healthy meal. The worry is that something in the upper back is triggering right that cramping. But so far, it doesn't seem like it. This is supposed to be figured out 4 years ago. Trying to maximize that potassium intake. And already that it's not as bad as it's been. And again, I didn't use too much. I didn't use magnesium all. Actually, I just sprayed some magnesium on there. It looks like it's starting to give. My back's sweaty, so. Theoretically, it's very similar to the steroids effect. Of course, a steroid is stronger medicine. Ugh. %91 humidity. I don't know why it's so hot in here. I think I have the heaters on. Well, stay